Self-expression for me, believe it or not, I was actually raised somewhat muted. Um, it wasn't until I was about 16 where I started to hang around some guys that, they were lyricists, and I started to write. I remember writing my very first song. I was 16, sitting outside of Yorkdale Mall, waiting for my mom to come out of the mall, and I just started writing. And it was interesting how I managed to pick up that I had what I now come to understand as a flow state. I had a flow state in language and in expression from like the earliest days of discovering that I had that ability. And, self-expression, it just came as a way of expressing and amplifying the areas of my way of being that were suppressed. So not being popular, being bullied, being small, being afraid, just a lot of the ways of being that caused me to always just live in the shadows. Self-expression kind of gave me a voice, and I started to really like it. I liked knowing that I was being heard, and for the first 10 years of that process, that journey, it was very all ego and validation based, right? It was not service based. It was all like, hear me, validate me, appreciate me, tell me that you like this. It was like me attempting to catch up, to use my words, my thoughts, and my opinions. It was for the purpose of just being validated for all that I felt like I was lacking from the way I was raised. So that's really where it all stemmed from.
How do you go from having that be ego based to being more of a servant leader? How does that transition happen?
In my case, the way it happened was when I started to discover how much value there was in the breakthroughs and the appreciation of what people's experiences were. However, besides that, I recall that what happened was I changed my ideal customer audience. Instead of my audience being a hip hop audience, it became a personal development audience. And when I discovered the way that, so in a hip hop audience, I would write songs and pour my heart out for a musical audience, and I would get like that, like,
Slow clap.
and then when I would do the same work, except make it less about lyrics and more about spoken word or more about speeches in front of a personal development enthused audience, I'd get standing ovations. So it was when I discovered the type of people that were on the receiving end of the message, that's what caused the breakthrough.